Just let me breathe for a minute, man. Just let me breathe. Here like I ain't that savage. Two. It's like I'm at the studio with Michael. You can hear me dancing on the beat. Bam, bam, about to put a mansion on the beach. 100 Latins in your...
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the... Jaguars are top 10 in defending the pass. They'll be going up against the Chargers, who will need to solve that secondary.
Larry, first opened in 1995. There's a look inside Everbank Field here in the River City of Jacksonville, Florida. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Play action now. Brissett. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Play fake. Brissett. His throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now Brissett. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for the Chargers on 3rd down. 46 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls...
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun. It's Brissett. He's going to go deep for Conley. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So our initial drive here this afternoon results in 3. I'm not sure that was a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
No question about it, Brandon. You had a crowd that was all fired up during pregame introductions, yet you're able to quiet them just a little bit by taking the early lead.
In motion to tight end. Throwing on first down is Bortles. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Room here to run. They can't tackle him. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Now again, right side, it's Ivory. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now they'll throw it. Bortles being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They run. It's Oliver. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. And again this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Well, the person carrying the ball is always the easy target when things aren't going so well, but I think it's a combination with the Chargers. They've got to get the offensive line going in order to improve those numbers from last year. They weren't very good running it, partner.
No, they were bottom of the AFC, second to last in the entire NFL. To throw, Brissett going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up, had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still trying to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover, put your defense in a bad spot.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
A first down throw for Brissett. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And, a good hit there and knocked down hard around the 37. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, Brissett. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll run with Ivory. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On first down, this is Ivory. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Bortles to throw on second down. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And Robinson with a big catch. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
On first down, Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Jaguars on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Chris Conley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Novak out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming up later tonight, a reminder, one of the games we circled coming into the season, the Patriots at the Broncos. These two certainly have played some memorable games in recent years.
They sure have.
And tomorrow night, we wrap up Week 10 with the Dolphins heading up to visit the Panthers. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Now Bortles throwing on second down. A dump off for Ivory. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Ready, blue for the
From the gun, it's Bortles. Caught. This is Ivory. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Brad Nortman in his 6th year in the league on to punt it away. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Second down, Brissett. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And able to find Conley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Extra point attempt to come here.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Novak out now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down. Get ready to go. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
And an alley to run. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Bortles now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Chris Ivory loses the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. He finds Ivory here. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads took him right off his feet at the 38-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Jaguars on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Bortles. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Lambeau will put this one through. Elsewhere on this Sunday in the NFL, they're in the second quarter in Detroit. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Chargers. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. Brissett now on second down. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Throwing, Brissett. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, first and goal. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Mike Williams, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
This is 3rd and goal. Brissett. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people wonder why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers on top as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. And an update from the Circle City up in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Looking long for Westbrook. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 54 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. They give it to Ivory. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. That's a prime example of how tough Chris Ivory can be to bring down.
He's so good that I think that he would last very well at a boxing gym. You know, because he's going to wear you down with those types of runs all game long. And if they can't start getting him on the ground quicker and more efficiently, they've got a long game in front of them.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now a guy who's been a Raider his entire career, this is Marcel Reese. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Marcel Reese, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Brissett. Oh, and This ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Myles Jack. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Bortles going to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll give it up to Ivory. Finding room to the 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle. But if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed. Plenty of open field to get after that.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Bortles now to throw. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 24-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. Touchdown, LA. A big play there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. And the lead is up to 14. Novak out now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. Dances by him. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the rookie from Clemson, Cordray Tankersley. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now the return, Rashad Green. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A Jags 1st down, Bortles to Robinson.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you don't lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Travis Benjamin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the interception by the Chargers D leads to a touchdown. And his kick is good. Novak out now to kick this one away. Now D.D. Westbrook to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Bortles to throw on second down. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Throwing on first down is Bortles. He's going to look deep. That's caught inside the 20. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Bortles will try again on second down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Let's go! 1, 2, let's round!
On third down, Brissett. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay, because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air? Let's see. 2nd and 9. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the play clock's running down. Now Bortles. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. The Kansas State's Jordan Willis. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Brad Nortman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Now Benjamin. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk it.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back at the 22-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. So 2nd and 10 here. Shift together here from the D-line. 2nd down, Brissett. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this call? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
10 yards there, good enough for the Jags first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the rookie from Clemson, Cordray Tankersley. And some room to roam now. past the 20. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The Jaguars getting set to go. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. This is Ivory, and that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one?